squeeze out a bit further. We must have them parallel. Got to do it with power in the water. Let that result come from, that rate come from that result. Feel yourselves transferring to your race rate. Get your rhythm. Get that squeeze. That's it. there. Keep the blade accelerating. Feel the rhythm. Feel the power. Back cam, look, swing back cam, that's the boy. You've got to swing back there. Can't sit up. Push him over, Ben. Don't push Steve right over in the mud. Don't suddenly put on rudder on your boat, though. Are you ready? Go! Finish off your stroke. And all our punch. Full swing, 4 and 3.
Gotta keep out, mate, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Don't want to go on the round.
Right.
Now sit back and drive your finishes. Clean extraction. Make sure you keep over to the right. The crew's coming down. Steve, get over to the right. You've got crews coming down. body swing, use your body. Arms in and see what effect that has. Come on, draw them in at the finish. There! There, lift your boat. Look at it. Look what has suddenly happened. Away we go. Now, we forgot about it.
The same angle.
At 5:41, which suggests that conditions are absolutely perfect for the world's best oarsmen and oarswomen. Well, let's now assess Australia's chances with the experts, and firstly to former Australian oarsman and coach Peter Philp. And Peter Philp, the lightweight ladies double scull, Harvey and Murtagh out for Australia. What chances?
Well, I think they might find it very difficult. They're up against three good crews of West Germany, USA and Canada, but they'll need to row above themselves. We're looking for about 4th spot there.
Now, the lightweight for ladies, the Australians also out there. Very disappointing in the heat, but since then in competition, they've looked much better.
Yes, their coach Brian Dalton was reasonably satisfied with their repechage performance. But again, I think they'll need to row above themselves to get amongst the middle placings. They're up against USA, West Germany and Canada once again, but you never know.
Now, in the men's lightweight 8, the Australians with a very experienced crew, and people here are telling me there could be less than a length between the first or the 6 in the final. How will the Aussies go?
I think it's going to be very exciting. You've got the Italians who are stroked by Rosati, and he's going for his 6th gold medal. The Australians' performance has been good in both the heat and semi-finals, and we're looking for a big opportunity from them.
Well, now to a man who knows exactly what it's like to win medals. Steve Evans, a gold medalist at the 1986 World Championships in the men's 8. And firstly, Steve, your assessment of the chances of the Australian lightweight quad scull?
A polished outfit, Neville, and who better to be looking after them than Tim McLaren? He rode in the silver medal quad at the 1984 Olympics, and he had one of the best coaches in the world coaching him then in Rusty Robinson. He's brought this crew up really well. The Italians look good in their qualifying rounds, and I think they'll be the ones for them to chase.
And now to the chance that Australia's got to bring home gold here, the coxless 4 for men. 2 of your old mates are out in this crew, James Tompkins and Mike Mackay from the 86 winning 8. Can they win?
I'm really looking forward to this race. This is basically what I came down here for, to watch them compete in this event. I hope they can win. I think they've got it. They've showed the form. Everybody I've spoken to from the other crews that I rode against from other countries have said that they're the ones that they'll be chasing. I think they've got to be a special. I've got all my money on them.
Well, an exciting day in prospect, and with this following breeze chasing the crews down the course, it tends to compress them, so some great finishes ahead. Well, you may have a preconceived idea of what a rower looks like. It's a sport plagued with cliches, and they're not all built like Olympic high jumpers. The range of athletes who row at this level is often surprising to people not familiar with the sport. Richard Finlayson takes a look at the cross-section.
If you were to ask someone how they picture a rower, they'd be likely to say 6'4", 16 stone, broad-shouldered, and equipped with the appetite of 6 men. Well, that image is likely to accurately describe some of the competitors here at the World Rowing Championships, but it really only fits one category of rowers, heavyweight men. In fact, there are 4 major categories of rowing, which make the sport accessible to just about everybody. There's men's and women's, obviously, but there's also lightweight and heavyweight. And when you add coxswains to the list, it means that rowers come in all shapes and sizes. Women's rowing, both light and heavyweight, has rapidly increased in popularity in the past 10 years, probably mainly due to the exploding of the myth that girls who row develop bodies like weightlifters. In fact, the opposite is true of rowers in all categories. They're usually tall and lean and free of heavy muscle bulk. The introduction of lightweight rowing really put the sport within reach of most people and developed a new level of intense competition, which discounted the weight advantage that exists in heavyweight racing. In the men's, the maximum weight for an individual oarsman is 72 kilos, and in women's lightweight rowing it's 59 kilos. Like boxing, wrestling and other weight-restricted sports, diet and weight reduction becomes an all-consuming task. And it's not uncommon to see lightweight rowers running in 35-degree heat, wearing plastic bags, wetsuits and woolen hats to shed the last vital grams before weighing. Some have been known to lose up to 10 kilos in the week before competition, because if you don't make weight, you just don't race.
Have you guys had a problem with your weight in the past? Do you have to diet heavily to get onto weight?
No, we've been at this for about 8 years, and the older you get, the easier it gets somehow. We've been eating normally. We haven't really had to cut back.
Do you have cravings at the end of the regatta?
No, because we kind of eat that bad stuff the whole way along. Just little bits of it.
In fact, because of the enthusiasm of the girls to shed every last stitch of clothing in order to make weight, and the concurrent male interest that developed around the weigh-in tent, it has since been ruled that underwear must be worn. Although a lightweight crew gives away about 20 kilos per man to its heavy counterparts, if it were racing in a heavyweight final, it would account for the tail enders and finish about 10 seconds behind the winners.
Well, Amanda Cross, Pam Westendorf, Sally Ninham and Rebecca Joyce make up Australia's lightweight women's coxless 4, and that's our next race on the program. China has been able to retain the same crew which won the world titles last year. Australia missed a medal by less than 1/10 of a second, and obviously they're here to change that. Look out also for the Soviet and Canadian crews as we take you to the start.
And away they go now. The gold medal about to be decided in the next 7 minutes or so for the women's lightweight coxless 4. The crew again from lane number 1, Australia, then 2, China, USSR in 3, Canada 4, Great Britain in 5, and the Germany West crew in station number 6. It's the early stages of the event. The sprinting out of the blocks at about 41, 42 strokes to the minute, and the Australians over in lane number 1 are at least going to have the benefit of a huge roar from the crowd here. Now, this is an event that Australia has done exceptionally well at World Championships or in world competition in recent times. 41 strokes to the minute out of the block. They've probably got the best of the start, and from there, well, I suppose anything can happen.
Well, I think Australia's done the right thing in these tail work conditions, so I think will suit them. And Australia, if they can just maintain a canvas or so lead going through the 1,000-metre mark, we could be in the hunt for the finish.
Well, looking at the field now in the early stages of the first 250 metres, and Australia has just got their bow in front of Germany West, and they're on opposite sides of the course. In third position would be the Canadians in station number 4. Then we go back about a metre to the crew alongside them. That's Great Britain. But the big surprise to me is that the defending champions, China, I suppose it's a bit of a misnomer, Steve, to talk about defending champions because the crews do change rapidly between one year and the next. But China, who won this race at the World Championships last year in Yugoslavia, are really feeling the pressure, and already they've dropped about a length and a half to the Australians.
They certainly are. You don't know who is in the crews coming back the next year, and there also could be people coming back who've won in previous years in other boats.
Well, I can tell you this, that the news in the early stages of the event as they go through 500 metres, the Australians have just got their nose in front of Germany West, so a very good start from them. Then back in third place would be Canada, and then Great Britain. And so the Australians, rowing to a race plan, went out very hard at 41 strokes to the minute, have settled down to 37. Fairly high rating still. Obviously, they're just going to play the cheeky race here, and just as the Australian 8 did when you stroked at Steve Evans all those, well, not all those years ago, 86 at Nottingham. That was the plan, wasn't it? Just play catch me if you can from about the 1,000 metres, and the Australians are away well. How difficult is it going to be, though, for them? Because the crews rowing alongside them, that's China and the USSR, have dropped way out of the race, and so you've got 2 vacant lanes almost between them, and then Canada, Great Britain and Germany West over on the far side are almost line abreast. Is that difficult as the stroke of the boat to make immediate assessment?
Not really. You have to be on the ball, but the person in charge, normally the 2-person in a coxless boat, has to be right on the ball and keep everybody informed if somebody is coming through.
Well, it's a great go, this, with the Australians with their nose in front. They've got it just in front of Germany West. In third place would be the crew in station number 4, that's Canada. and then Great Britain, about half a length between those first 4 crews. Then we go back to the Soviet Union, and then China, with the Australians zipping away now. They really are trying to take this race in the first 1,000 metres. They've steadied their rating to 36, and they've gone out now to lead by about half a length from Canada, about 2 metres back to Great Britain in 3rd place, and about a metre back to Germany West. And those 4 crews will fight out the medals, with the Soviet Union and China dropping out of it. The surprising performance here is the Soviet Union, who won their heat by about 5 seconds, and something obviously amiss there in their boat, at least in terms of performance. They get to the 1,000-metre mark, in Australia about a canvas in front. Making their move on them now is Great Britain in station number 5. Alongside them is Germany West, and then Canada. Maybe the Germany West crew back in 4th place. And it looks as though the Australians could win a medal here, as the crew on station number 6, that's Germany West, have dropped about a length behind the Australians. The Australians have still got their nose in front by about a canvas. This is a super performance so far. Canada just in front of Great Britain, only about half a metre between those 2 crews. Australia leading out by about a canvas. Great battle for 2nd and 3rd. In fact, it's a great battle for all the medals. But noteworthy here is the fact that Germany West, who were pushing for the lead, have dropped back about a length behind in 4th place. The Chinese crew are improving their position, and the USSR are well back out of it. That is quite amazing. The Australians lead at the next post, only by about a canvas. Canada improving, and so are Great Britain. This is a great go with the Australians. As I said, a very disappointing heat performance. Better in the repechage, most certainly better in the final. And now they've got a counter remove from Great Britain and Canada. The Canadians are starting to move to the Australians. Great Britain dropping back a little bit. The Australians have still got their nose in front, with Canada going up towards them. Great Britain about half a length now behind in 3rd place. The Aussies are still there. Canada rating 36 strokes to the minute. That's about the same as the Australians. The Australians went out hard. I hope that race plan works, because they've still got a fair bit of work to do. They're still in 2nd place now. I think the Canadians just putting their nose in front to lead by about half a metre. Australia still in 2nd place. Alongside the Canadians is Great Britain in 3rd place. And then it's 3/4 of a length back to the Germans. As they come to the next mark, 1,500 metres, and Australia are down by about half a metre. Canada first, Australia in 2nd place, then Great Britain. Coming through next and improving is China. Then we go back to Germany West and the Soviet Union, who won their heat, are well out of this. They're about 4 lengths behind the Australians. We're down into the last 500-metre section of the course. The Australians should win a medal. What colour will it be? Canada have now got about a canvas on them. The Canadians really settling down. They won their heat, and I think we're one of the favoured 2 crews going in here. The Australians have really put out a bold challenge, but now Canada have got about a canvas. And coming up to challenge the Australians now for 2nd place is the Great Britain 4. The Australian crew of Amanda Cross, Pam Westendorf, Sally Ninneman, Rebecca Joyce, doing their best, have now dropped about a 1/3 of a length on the Canadians. But will the crowd lift them? The crowd is starting to roar. Canada by about a 1/3 of a length. Australia still in 2nd place. Great Britain are their major worry now for the bronze medal, but the Australians starting to tack back into the Canadians. Canada still by a 1/3 of a length. Australia have got about a length on Great Britain. They're down into the concluding stages now with about 250 metres to go. The crowd roaring on the Australians, but they've dropped to about half a length now behind the Canadians. They've still got about half a length on the crew on the far side of the course. That's Great Britain. The Australians should win a medal here. There's no doubt about it, but I don't think they'll catch Canada. The Australians looking for something extra in the concluding stages of the course, and maybe Great Britain are finding something. Canada should win the event. The Australians really tired now on the line. Great Britain going to them, but the Australians are still there. As they come towards the line now, it'll be Canada. Australia for the silver medal. I think that'll give the crowd something to roar about, but a super row from the Canadians. They win the gold medal in the lightweight 4, and they're about to go to the line now at about 6:40. Australia home in 2nd place. Super
Fantastic
effort. Great row there for 3rd, and we'll give that to the Chinese crew, I think, who really came home well in the concluding stages of the event, just to pinch the bronze. But no doubt about it, the Australians have won a medal. A silver is a great result.
Fantastic result. That was a great race by the girls. They'll be over the moon with that.
Now that finish again, and Canada, who trailed the Australians for so much of the event, have got about half a length on the line. Terrific row from the Australians. They gave it their all. They were exhausted as they got to there, and the crew who rode so badly early, China, just get up to win the bronze medal, and that time very smart. The official result of the lightweight 4 for women, and a silver medal to Australia. Canada rode a superb race and a very good time. The Australians would be delighted, I think, with that performance. China, disappointing start, great finish to take out the bronze.
And the Australians will be thrilled with that after missing out so narrowly in Bled, Yugoslavia last year. Well, this looks like being the final sporting competition at which the 2 Germanys will compete separately. Officially, they've been unified, but coordinating their new rowing program won't be easy, with an abundance of rowers and coaches trying to squeeze into too few boats. The bright note is that there's a shared determination to sort out the problems, and come the Barcelona Olympics in 2 years' time, the combined Germany could well be the dominant country. East German master coach Theo Kerner has been in Australia for the past 6 months, helping to prepare the Aussie crews for these championships. Having taken East German boats to 73 World Championship or Olympic victories, he knows what it takes to win at the top level. But he also knows the system he helped create back home is gone, and with it, the jobs of a number of coaches.
Now finished with the East German rowing. Now in the end of the year we dissolved, and then we are part of the German Rowing Federation, the West German Rowing Federation. Those come now together, and they have not the same numbers of jobs for the next time. So a lot of coaches go in other countries or try to find another job.
With West Germany likely to provide much of the money for rowing's future, the sports administrative headquarters will be in Hanover, but the crews will be decentralised.
As you might know, the aid is coming out of the Rhine-Ruhr area in Dortmund. We will have a second in Berlin. We will have some centers in South Germany, and there will be teams formed. And when for international qualification, we have a special regatta, and we will have special systems to get the national team together.
Does that make you sad that the setup, the scheme that you worked with for so long has come apart?
Oh, a little bit, yes. But look, this unification is a higher part, and another is a political come more in front, and you have to accept this. I hope so. It's a better way, but it's changing sometimes. If you work so long in a part, that's.
Do you think that both teams here have a point to prove? They feel they must win to know they have a seat in a boat in the future?
I think so, yeah. Yeah. It's not talked out as you did now, but I think in a lot of minds of the rowers, also West, also East, that is a point which are thinking of have good condition here, have good races here to keep a place in the further team from Germany.
So the future providing extra spice to their rivalry. Well, there are a few sights in sport more stirring than a well-drilled 8 sweeping down a championship course. You're about to see the world's best 6 crews in action as we go to the event which is the favourite for many spectators. Title holders Germany West look the crew to beat, but Canada, who didn't even make the final last year, could be the ones to keep them honest. I know Neville Oliver can't wait to call this one.
Beautiful Barrington. We're going to change the name. It's known as Lake Barrington, part of the Mersey 4th Power Scheme here in northwestern Tasmania. But I think beautiful Barrington sounds better, and that's exactly what it is today. A very big crowd in for the finals. Part of them up in the natural grandstand that is part of the hill here at Lake Barrington. That's on the eastern side of the lake. And then as we go into the western side of the lake, of course, it's all trees and just untouched forest. And the lake itself today, it misbehaved just slightly yesterday. The regatta had to be delayed for about 90 minutes, but it's been brilliant, and I think we could expect some quick times. Some helicopter shots. The two areas there that you're looking at are the spectator area and a car park, and that's the start base at the start of 2,000 metres, and the forest stretching right down to the edge of the lake. And now we come to, I suppose we can call it the big one, isn't it? These are the Rolls Royces, the machines that move fastest, the men's 8s. I was just having a quick chat to you a moment ago, Steve. Steve Evans, the stroke of the Australian 8 that won this championship back in 1986 at Nottingham. The fastest ever time recorded over 2,000 metres for a men's crew is?
I think it's around 5:25, 5:24, and I think maybe that was in Lucerne.
And I would give them a chance to do that today. Now, the Soviet Union in 1, Great Britain in 2, Germany West, the defending world champions, in lane number 3. They also won at the Goodwill Games in Seattle. Alongside them, Canada, then Germany East, and the USA on station number 6. The Minicam, the ABC Minicam, the whiz of modern technology, to be carried by the defending world champions, Germany West. Roland Barr is the man we're going to be seeing a bit of in this race, is the stroke of that particular crew. Well, I don't know how quickly physically the race could be rowed, but we could see a time of around about 5:25 in this, which would be terrific.
We've got fantastic conditions with slight tailwind. I think we'll bring the time down. I'm looking forward to seeing a very quick race, and I think it'll be around about the 5:25, 5:27 mark.
That's the Canadian 8 there. They've looked very impressive to me, Steve. A bit of a form guide we'll look to from you.
Union Soviétique.
That's the starter, Mike Sweeney from Great Britain. Doing the roll call, not far away from a start in the men's 8.
Prêt. Allemand Est. Prêt. États-Unis. Prêt. Êtes-vous prêt? Partez!
And away they go. Germany West away at 46, 47 strokes to the minute. 49 we get them out of the blocks. Super duper stuff, and just look at the pressure going onto that boat as they belt the thing out of the blocks. And what a spectacular sight that makes as these 6/8s hit the breeze at Lake Barrington. The Germany West crew, the favourites for the event, but they're going to find it, I think, very hard with the Canadians alongside them. Canada maybe just sneaking a metre away from Germany West. Those two crews moving away from Great Britain, who have also got a very good crew. Then we go over to the Soviet Union in lane 1. Then down the bottom, it's East Germany and the USA. But it should be a super race, this, and we're going to take as much attention on who's going to win as the time, because we've got the potential here to see the fastest time ever rode in the world. 35 strokes to the minute now, the Germany West crew settled down on. And it was interesting to me, Steve, to see them race in their heat, which they won to go straight through to the final, and they came down the course at around about 40 all the way.
Yeah, they did it very well. They rode a very high rate in that race. Maybe they just wanted to see what they could do.
There you can see the blade where they were up around 38 strokes to the minute, actually, Germany West. We were clocking, I had the clock on the wrong boat, so Germany West really heaving in. And just look at that boat shudder as those 8 blades thump into the water. Those blades are about 12 feet 7 long, and they really are putting the pressure on as they go into the first 500 metres. Now, Canada also away well. Don't start talking about medals yet, because Canada are up with the Germany West crew, and then Great Britain also with a good start too. But the two favourites for the race are starting to sort out. Canada maybe just a little bit in front of the crew from Germany West. There's only about half a canvas between the two. Then in third place it's Great Britain, then the Soviet Union, then to Germany West and the United States in that order. But these two sorting themselves out, and this is just about what we thought they'd do.
Yeah, it is. The Canadians have stacked their 8 this year. They've only sent the one heavyweight men's boat, and that's their 8, and they've really stacked it, and they look good. They're a large crew, and they're rowing extremely hard there. They've just nudged their way in front.
Germany East there, and now back to Germany West. And the Germany West boat can look at the others through our mini cam, and it sweeps across to look at Germany East, but the Germany West crew is in front of them. The magic of these pictures going up to the helicopter and then down to the OB van, taking us up to the action. In fact, that's Canada they're looking at, and the Canadians and the Germany West boat locked together. Canada rating about 37 strokes to the minute, much the same in the Germany West boat. And just look at that work going on. And Canada in 2:40, so we're going to see a startling time here at this Lake Barrington course. If they could negative split the race, it would be the fastest event just about of all time ever in an 8-oared men's race. And it's going to be a great battle for the gold medal. Look at them going nip and tuck. Canada are out by about 2 metres, and now Germany West are actually going up to them and maybe just sneaking out to the front at 40 strokes to the minute. So the West Germans cranking their boat. That's what the Australians did in 1986 at the 1,000-metre mark, and Germany West are doing exactly the same as they go for a big effort.
That's how we took the race in 86, and it appears that they're doing the very same thing, but I wouldn't like to be on 40 at the 1,000. It's still a long way to go.
Germany West at 40 and then 39, and now Canada. And not much between those two. Actually, the Canadians don't look quite as technically good as the Germany West crew.
No, the Germans are technically rowing better, but the Canadians look like they're doing it comfortably at the moment.
So what a great go this is, with the crew on station number 3. That's Germany West, just taking out about a third of a boat length now off the Canadians in station number 4. Then a great race for third place, with probably Great Britain just up in the bronze medal position, and they're coached by an Australian.
Yes, they're coached by Marty Aiken. The Great Britain is also coached by him and Bled in Yugoslavia, which gained a third spot. He's done a good job.
Germany West, as they head up towards the 1,500-metre mark, just look at that time. They are really boring down Lake Barrington. Steve Evans, one of my co-commentators here, led the Australians to gold in this event back in 1986. He just shakes his head. Germany West are about half a length out in front of Canada, with Great Britain back in third place. A super performance this, and they've gone to 41 strokes to the minute, the Germany West crew, and there's the margin. It's about half a length over Canada, and then we go back to the rapidly improving Germany East crew from Great Britain. Not much between that for the bronze medal position. The Germany West crew are really stoking into their work now. Roland Barr, the stroke is really pounding down. They've been at 40 or 41 for about the last 600 metres, and as they come down through the 1,750-metre mark, they've still got about a third of a length, with Canada maybe just coming back at them a little bit now. It's a race for the gold between Germany West and Canada, with probably Great Britain and East Germany fighting it out for the minor medal, but it's still the Germany West crew boring it down the course, and I think they've got this. They're about half a length in front of Canada, with Germany East improving, just nudging past Great Britain, and they've only got about 100 metres to go now. I'll be intrigued by the time in this. The Germany West crew is roaring down towards the line. Canada trying for all that they might, won't get to them, and Germany West will defend their world championship. On the line, they're going to have about half a length at 42 strokes to the minute. A superb row. What a technically brilliant crew they are too, the Germany West crew. Full marks too to Canada on that time, 5:26. Canada over in second place. Germany East will go over in third from Great Britain, then the USA, and bringing up the rear of the field, it's the Soviet Union crew back in sixth and last place. World champions 1990 here at Lake Barrington. The Germany West crew, sensational crew, aren't they? They won this event last year. They defeated East Germany and Great Britain, so at least in the gold medal placing it's the same. They also won this event at the Seoul Olympic Games in 1988. And you can see the stroke there. How did you feel at the end of 2,000 metres? Any better than that?
No better, but he's won a few.
That's a terrific performance. Well, how technically good are they? 5:26, that's just a tick outside the world's fastest time ever. And that time will stand here at Lake Barrington for a while.
Oh, that's fantastic. But coming down the course at such a high rating is most unusual. But the West Germans seem to have a habit of doing so. And, of course, it's got a winning habit now.
So we'll just go back and have a look at how they won this. They won it superbly. And they stopped the clock at 5:26.54. Canada, let's take nothing away from them. They were within a third of a length of glory. Super row. And then it switched and changed between Germany East and Great Britain, with Germany East just getting up. On the line, they're a canvas in front. And so Germany East to take the gold medal. Well, at the end of a day at the office, you can stand up if you like. And then he sits down. Now, they talk about warm downs, which is one of the buzzword in rowing. And I think that's just because of the acid that develops in the muscles with that enormous exertion that they've just gone through. So how far will they paddle? They go up 400 or 500 metres?
Yeah, about 400 or 500 metres. It's more important if you are going to be competing again the next week or the next day. You do a longer warm down, but these guys are finished now for a while, and they can afford to just paddle down maybe 200 or 300 metres.
And the official placings in the World Championship for the Cox State for men, Germany West have won that now for the last 3 years in a row. Canada terrific. Germany East also rode a valiant race to take out the bronze medal, and that time one of the fastest ever rode in the world, 5:26.54. Back to you, Steve.
You're lucky.
Thanks very much, Neville, and what a fantastic race. And let me give our minicam boys a slap on the back, because they did a terrific job there. You see Roland Barr, the Germany West stroke, not a hair out of place over the 2,000 metres, but that also shows you, I think, that there was a following breeze. And what about that time? 5:26.54, a long time before that's going to be broken here at Lake Barrington. Well, at the top of the show, of course, you saw the Australian lightweight coxless 4 winning a medal. Well, they're back on dry land, having collected their silver medals, and talking with Richard Finlayson is the stroke, Rebecca Joyce.
Fantastic row, Beck. Are you a little bit happy?
Yeah, I'm pretty happy about that, but it would have been nice to get the gold, but I'm pretty happy with silver.
Yeah. Oh, you beat last year's world champions, the Chinese. That must be a nice feeling. Whereabouts did the Canadians get you?
I think they had us from the start. When we broke away from the start, I didn't really turn around and have a look, but we had a few mishaps. But
just couldn't quite hang on till the end.
No, just missed a little bit.
Well, not to worry, you got the silver, and what a great atmosphere down here.
Oh, it's brilliant. Yeah, once you get to the 500, you just go for it. You hear the crowd going, "Come on, Aussie," and that's it.
A few tears?
Oh yeah, it's great. It's brilliant.
Well, they're very happy, and they deserve to be. They did a great job. Well, 4 men, each with 2 oars, row a quad scull, and the heavyweights are about to hit the water. It looks a race in 3 between Holland, the Soviet Union and Italy, and these guys can really shift a shell along. Let's take you back to Neville Oliver.
The field now in the men's quadruple sculling final. And this promises to be the great race of the day. There's just nothing between these crews. On station 1, Germany West. 2 is Holland. 3, the Soviet Union. 4, Italy. 5, Switzerland. 6, Sweden. And if somebody asked me, Steve Evans, to pick a winner out of that, I might just lean towards the Italians. However, I believe that there's only about 2 seconds between the 6 crews in this race. That's in heat and semi-final times.
Yeah, well, perhaps they've been foxing like maybe we thought the Abanalis have been this week. They might go out and bolt it in by 2 lengths, but I doubt it. I think it will be very close. I wouldn't like to pick it.
That's the Italian quad. That's the Germany West crew in 2, Holland. And we're just doing the roll call now. Mike Sweeney, the starter, just checking.
Swiss. Swed.
The concentration required at the start. And you can lose it in the first few strokes if you're not careful. Away you go, the Italian boat. And they are scooting out of the blocks at 47 strokes to the minute. They'll quickly ease out of that, blasting the boat off. I think it must be said that there are a couple of short strokes in that starting rhythm. But at 47 strokes to the minute, the Italians are away. I think, Steve Evans, we might see at the finish of this race, somebody might scoot away, but, well, we could have one of those races with not much more than a boat length between 6.
Yeah, and that's great, too, for spectator value. The closer the race, the better the watching, and I think this will be exciting.
To look at the crew then from the top of the screen in lane 1, that's Germany West, then Holland under them, then the Soviet Union, Italy, Switzerland and Sweden. And the crew in station 3 probably getting the best of the start. That's the Soviet Union, although not much between them. The early pressure being felt by Holland at 36 strokes to the minute now. The Soviet Union just easing away by about half a canvas. And if I could be as cheeky as to ask you a question, the Soviets here have not had a good regatta.
No, they've been a bit flat. Their preparation was that they only came out here about 10 days prior to the championships, and you need usually at least 2 weeks, and I think that's the problem. They're a bit underdone for this regatta.
Talking about being underdone, some of these quad sculls, men's quad sculls, have been together for 3, 4, 5 years. Is it a difficult boat to get together? I suppose the Australians proved that you can put one together in 4 months, but 4 years is probably a more satisfactory preparation.
Certainly, it's definitely a combination boat. It takes a long, long time to get a combination happening in these particular type of boat.
Incidentally, in this event, the Australians won the petite final to finish 7th in the world. And I know that in their boat, they thought they were improving dramatically, and had they got out here this afternoon, they wouldn't have been far off the pace in this. The Italians rowing well, but the Soviet Union are rowing slightly better. The Soviet Union are away by about half a length. The crew on station number 5, that's Switzerland, also going well. In this event last year, it was Holland from Italy and Sweden. They were the placings, but the crew members just changed minutely, and maybe this year's boat doesn't quite go as well as last year's or vice versa. So the Swiss crew doing extremely well, and they're still rating about mid-30s, and just look at the momentum that boat gets when those 8 sculls are placed in the water, and the leg drive pushes them along at 36 strokes to the minute in a most satisfactory fashion. So it's the USSR. In 5 is Switzerland, pushing them along. Then over in station number 1, it's Germany West in 3rd place at this stage. But the Soviets, this is the best Soviet crew that I've seen at the regatta so far, look extremely competent.
Yeah, the best Soviet crew I've seen, as a matter of fact, since the 1986 Soviet quad there. They are very machine-like, and these guys are looking the same.
But I notice a few of them looking anxiously over now at Switzerland. The Swiss pushing along. Tommy Keller, the former president, and sadly dying last year, the former Swiss president of FISA, would be quietly roaring if he were able to be here at this regatta. I know Lake Barrington was his pride and joy, but for the Swiss it would be wonderful if they could win this race. But they've still got to beat this crew, the Soviet Union, who rating about 36 strokes to the minute. It's machine-like precision as they put those sculls in the water and drive with the legs. And as I said, it's just such a majestic boat to watch, the quad scull. A few years ago in Australia, you rarely saw them, but sculling here is becoming more and more popular. And Australia with a heap of very good scullers about. The Soviet Union obviously with a few better, and they've got only about a canvas now over Switzerland. Coming through with Switzerland now is Italy into 3rd place. In 4th place is Sweden, and then we'd go to the far side of the course to Holland, who are just in front of Germany West. Now, the Swiss are threatening to take this away from the Soviet Union. The Italians also rowing very nicely indeed. Great precision in that boat. And in fact, I suppose, Peter, when you get to this stage of world rowing, when you're in the gold medal final, you wouldn't expect to see anything less.
No, but just looking at the Russians there, it looks like poetry in motion. It's unusual, though. The Swiss crew's rowing in a wooden boat. It's probably the only one in the final.
The Swiss, yes, I suppose high-tech certainly hit the sport of rowing. All the boats now basically built out of high-tech glass, and the Swiss crew opting to row in the wooden boat are doing a superb job. And they're about half a length behind the Soviet Union as they come to the 1,500-metre mark. And coming through in third spot there is the crew from Italy. They're a great race between Sweden, Holland and the Federal Republic of Germany, which is now to be called Germany West and soon to be called Germany only. They're back in sixth and last position. The Soviets have got a real battle on their hands here with the Swiss. There's only about half a length between them, and then a further half length back in third place is the Italians. Improving is Sweden, and they're a chance still for a bronze medal, with Holland and Germany West out of it at this stage. But the Soviet Union crew looks really polished and unhurried, maybe just going for an effort now as the Swiss just continually seem to peg them back by centimetres. The Soviet Union leading almost out of the blocks are into the business end of the course with about 250 metres to go. The Swiss at 38 strokes to the minute now are making a race at them. The Soviets still stroking maybe a point lower on 37, are sitting and watching. Would you be worried if you're in the Soviet boat?
I don't think so. They haven't really hit it yet.
The Soviets still by half a length. The Soviet bowman just looking over and assessing the possibilities. Maybe just a little bit worried by the Swiss. Back in third place, it's Italy from a rapidly finishing Sweden, then back to Holland and Germany West. But they've only got about a dozen strokes or so to go now, and this looks like a gold medal for the Soviet Union. They're racing down to the line now. On the line, they're probably going to have about half a length. Soviet Union with just a couple of strokes to go. Roar down towards the line. They're going to take out the gold medal. A great go here. I think the Swiss just getting up. Oh, yes, they did. And a beautiful row there for third place, and it'll be a photo finish. I think Italy might have just got in front of Sweden, and then we go back to Holland and Germany West. But there's no doubt about the winners. The Soviet Union crew already starting to enjoy the fruits of their labours. Now the Soviets leading out. Look at this bit of a clutter up here back in the field. The Swiss almost caught on the line, get the silver medal. Now the bronze goes where? The bronze will go to the crew from Italy, and they'll be followed home by Sweden. And that time, unofficially, 5:40.28 indicates the swiftness of this course.
Great row there from the Soviets. Well, Romanian Elisabeta Lipa won the women's single sculls at the 1989 World Championships, and she's drawn lane 4 for this year's final. Beside her will be former fellow Romanian Titi Jordache, now rowing for Germany West, and the strong Canadian Silky Laumann. Look out as well for Birgit Peter. They're ready for a start, so it's back to Neville Oliver.
The World Championship to find out who the fastest single sculler is. Should be a terrific event. Maria Brandon from Sweden, Birgit Peter from East Germany, Silky Laumann from Canada, Elisabeta Lipa from Romania is the defending world champion, Titi Jordache from Germany West, and Harriet van Etiko from Holland. Elisabeta Lipa going into this race as the favourite, although there are quite a few people on the course here that think Silky Laumann in the following conditions from Canada will do well. And I suppose Titi Jordache, who went from Romania to Germany West a few years ago, has got a bit to prove against her Romanian world champion.
Holland.
So Elisabeta Lipa goes. And it should be a close event, this, between these crews coming down the course. Lipa looking to defend her world championship. And I suppose Titi Jordache would love to beat her, going from Romania to Germany West a couple of years ago. Silky Laumann will watch her with great interest. But Elisabeta Lipa away very, very well, Steve. That's a great start by her, and what a terrific thing it is in a single scull if you can get out that quickly and get a half, 3/4 of a length.
Yeah, particularly in a tail breeze, because it's extremely hard to peg back distance in a tail breeze because the boats are all made to move so much faster.
So into the opening 500 metres of the event, and Elisabeta Lipa trying to make it 2 in a row. This championship has gone round a little bit. Germany East winning it at the 1988 Seoul Olympic Games. But look at that, what a brilliant start. Just going down the field again, Maria Brandon from Sweden in lane number 1. Bridget Peter from East Germany in lane 2. Silke Laumann of Canada. Then the world champion Elisabetta Lieper. Then Titi Jordache from Germany West. And then Harriet van Etiko. But Elisabetta Lieper rating 34 strokes to the minute. Marvellous boat movement. What a great technician she is in this boat.
She's flying away from the field. If they don't go with her here now, she's just going to have an unstoppable lead.
I'm sure Silke Laumann knows what she's got to do, but I just wonder whether she's got the strength. She's certainly got the technique. She, again, is a very good technician indeed, but Elisabetta Lieper went out like a rocket out of the boat bays and out of the start bays and has taken a length and a bit. Now, Silke Laumann is starting to come through. It was generally thought, I think, that she would be ideally suited to these tail breezes. And you might just discuss that with me for a second as they come down. That's Elisabetta Lieper there. Why would we be saying that one sculler is more suited to tail breezes than the other?
Well, single scullers particularly seem to develop their own techniques, and some have quicker hands around the back, some are brighter at the front, and just body weight and the way that you like to row the boat. Some are comfortable in a slight head, some are comfortable in a slight tail. It's just preference.
So, Elisabetta Lieper leading this race out from Silke Laumann. Then Birgit Peter from Germany East in 3rd position, followed by Titi Jordache from Germany West. And then in station 1, it's a good race between Maria Brandon and Harriet van Etiko from Holland in 6th for the 5th position. Elisabetta Lieper looks so unhurried and so calm, rating 31 strokes to the minute now. Conditions lightning fast here. And although Silke Laumann is now coming back. Now, if I were a single sculler and somebody dashed away from me to lead by a length and a half, I'd be thinking, oh, well, Silver's my go. But obviously, Silke Laumann doesn't think that. There was a lot of discussion about how the tail breeze might suit her. She's rating just a point higher than Elisabetta Lieper. And Lieper went out very quickly. And now maybe that technique doesn't look nearly as good. The arm's starting to bend a little bit. What's your assessment?
She's really struggling there. She's still overrating Silken there, and Silken is just coming right through.
Silke Laumann looks very good indeed now. We thought that both of them were excellent technicians. I'm just wondering whether Elisabetta Lieper hasn't gone out too quickly. And Silke Laumann's gone up to her now. And Silke Laumann goes past her. Now, this is great drama. The defending world champion is in a heap of trouble. And there you can see that the catch isn't nearly as bright.
No, she'll be demoralised now. She won't be able to come back through Silken, I don't believe. And Silken will really get her back up. She's going to go away with it here, I believe.
Oh, that's been a fantastic effort from Silke Laumann. Firstly, not to be put off with the way Elisabetta Lieper led her. And she's got a length at the 1,000. And now we see the possibility of Elisabetta Lieper not getting into 2nd place either, because Titi Jordache from Germany West is starting to make a move. And so is Birgit Peter from Germany East. Silke Laumann looks very good indeed, very strong, and look at the trouble that Elisabetta Lieper finds herself in. And we were having a look at the technique of Silke Laumann earlier on, and she looks to be moving that boat so well. Birgit Peter coming up now. She might have just about taken over 2nd place, and the current world champion has just blown up. Well, that is the great drama. She went out like a rocket out of the blocks, and she's gone from 1st to 4th in about 500 metres. Silke Laumann from Canada is the leader. Birgit Peter from Germany East takes over 2nd place now. Titi Jordache from Germany West is in 3rd place. And Elisabetta Lieper, well, the tactics, I mean, it looked solid enough. She roared out of the blocks, established more than a length lead. But Silke Laumann has rowed beautifully, never flustered by that. She's rowed to her race plan and looks to be rowing extremely well, or sculling extremely well. And the battle could well be for the minor medals, and it's between the Germanys that have now been unified politically, still not quite at rowing. This will be the last World Championship in which they compete individually. And Birgit Peter from the old GDR and Titi Jordache from the old FGR battling it out for the medals. But Silke Laumann in gold medal position, and the 1989 world champion Elisabetta Lieper now back in 4th place. So we're seeing a sensation in the making here, with Silke Laumann leading easily now. She's out by about 2 lengths, and a very good battle between Titi Jordache and Birgit Peter. And when the Germany's unify next year, I wonder at the Worlds who will be representing Germany.
Well, that's right. There's talk amongst the ranks that perhaps they'll become the strongest rowing nation, but then again I've heard that they may tear themselves apart.
Birgit Peter in second place. Titi Jordache is third. Harriet van Etiko from Holland moving through very nicely indeed. And then Maria Brandon with Elisabetta Lieper back in sixth and last place. So a sensational sculling race this, with the world champion looking all over the gold medalist at 500. And at the 1,000-metre mark, she looked like the bronze medalist, and now she looks like finishing last. Silken Laumann is sculling this boat beautifully. That technique's still there. You maybe see the arms starting to flex a little bit more. She's getting tired. Birgit Peter from Germany East is starting to make a move at her. Now, she just taken a quick look over the shoulder at Silken Laumann, and Birgit Peter is starting to make a big move. That is a sensational performance.
She's coming right through. Silken's going to have to turn it on early here.
Half a length between them. Birgit Peter has picked up about 2 lengths. Silken Laumann might be the next one to crack under the pressure. Birgit Peter is up on 34 strokes to the minute and starting to row through Silken Laumann. Well, a third change, a third massive change could come over the race, as Birgit Peter from Germany East is now starting to get superb run out of a boat and races straight past Silken Laumann to take up the gold medal position. Half a length she's now got over Silken Laumann. Silken Laumann has gone too hard too quickly, and can she now hang on from Titi Jordache and take out the silver medal? Birgit Peter into the last few strokes of the race in lane number 2 should win this World Single Sculling Championship for women. She's got a length away now from Silken Laumann, and that is a magnificent performance. Now, I wouldn't have thought that possible. If we could have stopped the race at 1,000, you would not have thought that possible. Birgit Peter should win this World Championship. On the line, she's going to have about a length and a quarter, length and a half to spare. Brilliant row from the Germany East sculler, and Silken Laumann will go over in second place. Now, a great race here for third. Titi Jordache, I think, just in from Harriet van Etiko, and then coming over is Maria Brandon, and in last place, the sensation of this race will be that the world champion of 1989, Elisabetta Lieper, finishes 6th. The winner, Birgit Peter, a marvellous row. She paced herself superbly. And there's the world champion just coming to the line. She was the world champion until 10 minutes ago, not anymore. A race of great changes with 3 different leaders down the course, and Birgit Peter is the new world champion in women's sculling. And Birgit Peter on the line, more than a length to spare. Now, actually, Silken Laumann did hang on very well when Birgit Peter rode through her, and very clearly there for the silver medal. Now, close for the bronze, and I think Titi Jordache just getting there. The Germany West sculler will pick up the bronze from a fast-finishing Harriet van Etiko of Holland, and the major disaster in the race from the Romanian team coming from Elisabetta Lieper.
And confirming the placings for you, Birgit Peter from Germany East, taking it out from Silke Laumann of Canada. Titi Jordache, a big finish to finish up with bronze medal for Germany West. And then the shame of it all, Elisabetta Lieper, world champion last year from Romania, last in the final this year in the women's single sculls. Well, the Abagnale brothers from Italy are 2 of the real characters of international rowing. Their event is the Coxed Pair, and they were powerful winners of this one last year in Bled, getting home ahead of the Romanians by 2 seconds. Rowers in this discipline have to wear plenty of jibes about why the 2 of you would want to carry a coxswain all that way. But that's just what they do, and they're about to set off now.
And away they go, 2,000 metres the journey. Tough and hard in a Coxed Pair. As an art form, did you like it?
It wasn't my bag.
Well, I think we all class as the hardest boat to row in, as I always call it, the intercolonial truck club pairs.
There's nowhere to hide in this. Now, we'll be watching the